But as we get to the northwest battery corner, my gosh, is this area a-growing fast. All Gigafactory construction progress side by side for the final week of April. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. Giga Shanghai. At the northeast corner, this building is getting so close to done that in the next week or two, I assume the videos will no longer show it. The walls are closing off, the final layer of the roof is on. It's not quite as nasty outside with all the construction debris, and it's looking real sharp. Some have speculated this could be the new battery plant. I'd like to hear what you guys think is going to go on in this part of the site. And by the way, pretty please subscribe, because if you do and leave a comment, hey, you might just win some merch on the first news roundup of next month. Wouldn't that be cool? But look at that. The roof is like really close to done. The kajillion cars we saw parked outside last week are gone, meaning if they haven't been sold, they've been moved to perhaps the port to be loaded on a ship and sent overseas. The northern extension of the Phase 2 or 2.5 building is getting to the point where it's so complete. Once again, we're not going to see much of this in future weeks. The walls are up, the final roof is on, it's looking real close to done. The massive expansion in the sliver wedge is coming along so nice. Almost all the frames are in place. They're starting to put up exterior walls. The frames are being coated with the fire-resistant, rust-proof material. It's already getting roof material put on in places. This huge expansion is screaming along, and it's going to be done, fairly soon. But just for funsies, why don't we keep watching it, and I'll, hang back and stay quiet for a minute. Giga Shanghai is really fun to watch because you can see the rapid, nimble design changes that go on over time. You can see them kind of changing plans, changing gears, and moving forward. This is a very fun site, and were it not for Giga Texas, this would maybe be my favorite. It's just, like an old friend in that it's the first construction site I ever watched drone footage of. And look at that. The frames are so much done. Everything's so much more done. We're going to start seeing the floors going in at record speed, and of course the roofs going on and the concrete flooring inside. This place is going to be done soon. And yeah, you can see there are studs going up on the exterior wall. We'll see exterior sheathing going up probably this week. It's just amazing. We're not showing any footage of the access road because it's basically done, and we're also not showing any footage of the expansion to the south because if that is the correct property, there's nothing really there to show just yet, but as that develops, we'll keep track. The extension to the Stamping Cathedral is, of course, screaming along as well. There's a lot more wall panels. The concrete on the interior is moving very quickly. You can see there's more paint done, more roof trusses in place. It's all going great. The white coating is both fireproof and rust-proof, as I understand. And as you can see, in the pit itself, there's vastly more concrete than just a week ago. Giga Berlin. From the front of the building, once again, there's not a whole lot to see. It's getting closer to done. The area around each loading bay door has its padding in place, its bumpers, if you will. The roof is looking good. Over in the switchyard, yeah, things are moving along. It's all just going great. You can see there's an awful lot of activity, an awful lot of vehicles, an awful lot of workers, but mostly what we don't see is what's going on inside. The area to the east of the site, closer to the train tracks, where we believe the train yard will be established for the loading of vehicles and perhaps offloading of new materials, is well cleared and continuing on its pace. They're doing stuff over there. Looks like they've got some drain pipes going in to allow for drainage of what could be a building or just a massive amount of pavement. Don't shut off the video, it's not done. I just wanted to give a quick shout out and a thank you to my Patreons in the sidebar without interrupting the view. If you don't like this part, just mute it. They get early access, bonus content, an ad-free experience, and literally help keep the channel running. They are the reason I'm able to do as many videos as I do, and hopefully, perhaps in the next few months, I may be able to transition to full-time, so, you know, fingers crossed on that. On the east side of the building, you can see it's closing up nicely, and there's new areas that have been flattened and had gravel added for perhaps pavement or staging or maybe even construction. Peering into the building from the east, we can see there is quite a bit of work going on inside the casting area, and this is where the whole rear assemblies for the Model Y will be made, and partial, or who knows, maybe full assemblies for the Model Y front end as well. And though it's been quite some time, there's finally some visible progress going on in terms of getting this area done. It also appears they've made some progress on clearing and leveling the land to the east on the southeast corner where the future warehouse or perhaps battery building will be located. Giga Texas. Well, you know, a lot more foundations are in, more roof work has been done. This place is, of course, crushing it. Along the east side of the building, we can see at the ground floor an awful lot of concrete panels have been put in. A lot more roof material has been applied, even the finished layers, and there's just a ton of progress. The cranes present on this side indicate how quickly work is moving over here. The drain pipes put in underground have all been backfilled over, and the drainage system is apparently about in place. If you watch my weekly Giga Texas math tracker update, that came out a few hours ago, and it's a short one, but it's exciting, so remember to check that one out too. But down here, across the way, on the other side, in the southwest prairie area, you can see a lot more steel has been laid out, staged, delivered, ready to be installed imminently. More foundation work continues in this area as well, and while it may not look like it, there has been a lot of progress. You can see on the roof of the building, there's a lot more first layer of material applied, like all the way down to the firewall. That is, at this point, the perimeter of that building, I guess. And looking up through the central corridor, there's a lot more work there as well. There's a yellow wall, which is going to divide the building and create new interior space. There's a large pit up in that elbow that is going to have something very heavy there. My theory is that's where they're going to cold roll the steel for the Cybertruck, but we shall see. And as we move up, we get a better view of all the steel that's in place, all the additional roof panels that have been applied, and we can see that there is now additional new framing in this area. Moving up along the perimeter, we can see more concrete floors have been poured. A lot more roof material has been put in place, with quite a bit more delivered, awaiting installation. But as we get to the northwest battery corner, my gosh, is this area a-growing fast. It's only about 2-3 sections from the corner of the building where it will cut in at a 45-degree angle all the way up to level to even with the building to the east. This area is a screaming along. Everywhere you look, there are workers, there are vehicles, there are delivery trucks. Everything is going so quick. Other parts of the site are getting developed as well. The ponds to the east of the site are mostly cleared, almost completely cleared. Substantial grading has taken place. Something is going in over here, whether it's parking or a new building, we don't yet know. We believe it's going to be the cathode building, which is part of the battery supply chain, but we shall see. On the west side of the freeway, there's been so much work to clear and level the ground, and again, while we don't know what it is, we do believe, from rumors, that this is where SpaceX may create a new factory to construct their internet satellite dishes and Wi-Fi routers and, the hardware needed for consumers. Maybe even the satellites. We just don't know. So what did I miss or misunderstand? Leave me an earful in the comments. Stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop.